For me, the star of this movie would be Odunlade Adekola because there was something about his character in this movie. There was something about the way he delivered in this movie that really stood out for me. And I'm like, okay, I think I really love this for him. Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time being here, thank you so much for being here. And if you're a returning subscriber, you already know how it is. This is your one-stop channel for Nollywood movie reviews, recommendations, and reaction videos. And today, guys, we are talking about the much anticipated Alakada Bad and Bougie, which is by no other person but our very own world best Toyin Abraham or Toyin Ajeyemi. Yes, guys, so I watched this movie a couple of days ago and I haven't had time to talk about it, but then I'm here today to talk about it. Alright, let's talk about the plot of Alakada Bad and Bougie. Alakada Bad and Bougie, of course, is a continuation of the Alakada series. I think this will be the fourth part of the Alakada series, if I'm not mistaken, because I know we've had Alakada, we had the actual Alakada first, then we had, I think, Alakada Reloaded, then we had Alakada, something with Shaggy was in, and then there is this one. So I think this is the fourth part of the franchise from Toyin Abraham, and is a continuation of it. Alakada basically is about this young lady, Yetunde, who is lying for a living. Yetunde basically is faking it till she makes it, and her own fakeness is a very senseless fakeness, the one that doesn't even make any sense. She just keeps saying a lot of nonsense and lying unprovoked, even when she's not supposed to lie. Yetunde will just continue to lie and lie and lie, and you'll be wondering what exactly is your problem, Yetunde. So this movie stars Toyin Abraham, Bimbo Ademoye, Lizzy Jay, Odunlade Adekola, Yomi was in this movie, Kowole Ajeyemi was in this movie. Who else? Toyin Abraham made an appearance in this movie. Elemo Shaw, yeah, he was in this movie. There were a lot of people in this movie, to be honest. There was Pella, there was this Oyinbo Ibile, there was Samuel Banks, there was Kid Baby. A lot of TikTok influencers were in this movie. Even Opeyemi Famaki made an appearance in this movie. A lot of people were in this movie, guys. Now, what do I think about this movie? Do I like it? Do I not like it? What do I think about the performances and all of that? First off, let me talk about the performances in this movie. I think Odunlade Adekola, like I said earlier, was the star of this movie for me. So number one is I must really commend his English speaking. I'm not trying to share or anything, but we know how Odunlade used to be before. Yeah, his spoken English wasn't so great. But this one, and in recent movies, I've seen that he has really improved himself in his English speaking, and it was really good to see. I mean, he did a good job in this movie. Even the fight scenes, they seemed like they were well choreographed. I really loved he played the role of Jide, who was Yetunde's brother. So I really loved his delivery in this movie. I think he was in, I'm not sure this is the first time he's in Alakada movie. Yeah, and I can't even remember if he's been known as being a brother from the start. Honestly, I don't think so, because I know that in actual Alakada part 1, she had a younger brother who was played by this man that was the production manager. I can't remember his name, but Eniola, I think Efiz Eniola, yes, was one that played a younger brother in the first Alakada, but subsequently I can't remember if Odunlade had played a brother before. But I know that I think in Alakada Reloaded or something, Odunlade made a guest appearance where Yetunde was giving so many lines. So I can't even understand, I can't exactly say that he has always been a brother, because I don't think he has. So I'm wondering why they made him a brother in this one. But I mean, his performance was really good to me. His fighting were really choreographed, and I also liked his spoken English in this one. I think he did a good job in this one. Another person that stood out for me, that really made this movie interesting for me, would be Lizzy Jay, aka Yabadon or Yabadon. I can't remember the name that she calls herself, but she was fantastic in this movie. I mean, she's funny, to be honest. I think she was even the most funny person in this entire movie. There were a couple of times where, we laughed from Yetunde's antics, then Bimbo Ademoye to her part, but Lizzy Jay's part was one that was consistently very funny, and I really liked it. I really did like it. Also, Kiki was also in this movie. This guy Ike Ogbonna was also in this movie. So like I said, this movie was really quite star-studded. A lot of people were in this movie. Next up for me would be Bimbo Ademoye. Bimbo Ademoye played the role of Rebecca, who was Yetunde's friend. So Bimbo Ademoye had never been in any of the franchises. This is the first time she's been in any of the Alakada movies, and I think Bimbo was Bimbo. Bimbo did a good job. I think the pair of her and Yetunde, I think it worked. She and Toyin Abraham, I think their pair kind of worked. I think it really did work. It really did work out. Which kind of English with that? I think it worked, to be honest. There wasn't exactly anything spectacular to Rebecca's character. So Rebecca was her friend. They were both living in Lagos Island. Rebecca had a brother who was played by Olumide Oworu, and they were all so poor. But Rebecca was really educated and she really speaks good English. So they were doing the whole fake life thing together. Rebecca was a very learned one, so Rebecca does more of the talking, but usually anytime she decides to speak, she just lies unprovoked, which was just so crazy. But I think the pair of both of them, I think it worked. I was expecting more funny scenes from from Bimbo Joe, but I think it was whatever she did in this movie. I think it was okay for, it wasn't anything spectacular, like I said before. Next up will be Toyin Abraham herself, who played the role of Yetunde. Toyin Abraham, of course, we already know that Toyin Abraham is a fantastic actress, the world best, like she calls herself. But when it comes to comedy, I'm not exactly sure that Toyin is so great with comedy, because sometimes her comedy seems like it's very, very forced. So when you see that being forced, it doesn't seem funny. It doesn't come out as really fun. But there are times when she really gets it and it's just quite funny. But sometimes the comedy is not comedy, and a lot of scenes in this movie, her comedy was not comedy. Yes, we had a little bit of laugh here and there in times when she was really lying and saying things that were stupid, but I'm not so sure she's a very, very great comedy actress, but she's a fantastic actress. I can't even lie about that. Alakada, I really like the whole Alakada thing, because the very first one, she wasn't trying to be funny, right? She was just lying and living a fake life, which was really good. But sometimes you feel like she's really trying to be funny. Yetunde's trying to be funny, but all in all, I think Toyin did a good job. I think, yeah, it was okay. Her delivery was Toyin being Toyin, right? Another person in this movie for me would be Yemoli. I think Yemoli really did good. This is the second time I'm seeing Yemoli in a movie, and I think he did good with his acting. The very first time I saw him was in this movie with Bolaji Gumala, and yeah, that movie Rich, yeah, where he played Timini's brother. And since then, I have never seen him in any movie, but I think he did a good job in this movie. The Olunlade Adekola too, the lady that played the stripper in Ijakumo, the born again stripper. And there were a couple of people in this movie, to be honest, and some people you wonder what exactly are these people doing in this movie. For example, the likes of Pella, the likes of even Okpefamaki, the likes of what is it called? The likes of Okpefamaki, even his character was even valid to an extent. But even what's this guy's name? Arike Perioda, Samuel Banks. This movie just had a whole lot of people, and you'd be wondering, why do we have this many people? And then I'll get to the things when I talk about things that I didn't know exactly like about this movie. I'll get to that. But yeah, I think the majority of the people in this movie, but they played the characters well. They did a good job. They did good, and it was good to see. But in all honesty, I wasn't very impressed with this movie. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not going to drag that for too long. I'll just let you guys know that I wasn't very impressed. Even though I wasn't even expecting so much, but the trailer of the movie seemed very, very intriguing and very interesting to me, which really made me feel like, oh, okay, I think I should go see this movie. And again, for the fact that I really, really do love Toyin Abraham, but I think that it's time for Toyin to actually get it right. I said this in the review of her last movie that came out in December 2023, where I said that I think she's a fantastic actress, but she really needs to invest in a good writer to write her story. Honestly, there's really, really a huge need for that. All right, then. What do I like about this movie? What do I think about this movie in general? I think it was just Alakada being Alakada. There wasn't really anything spectacular, but one thing that really stood out would be the fact that there were a lot of lessons in it, from history lesson when they went to Cotonou. There were a lot of history lessons. There are lessons about even fake life on social media, the fake charity that people do, the two-faced lives that people live, and all of those things. There were a lot of lessons in this movie. I'm not even going to lie. It was very, very filled with a lot of lessons, right? But then again, I wasn't exactly impressed with the movie. I think I can't even say the story was just the normal Alakada story that we've seen before. Like I said, if I like a couple of the likes of Odunlade's acting, I like Lizzy Jay. And yeah, those were the people that I think I really did like. And Kiki too, times where they were with her, they were lying to her, and she was giving them a dose of their medicine. That was also very funny. Yeah. So for me, I think that's about it. Camera quality wasn't so bad. It was good. Because it could be as a result of the cinema that I watched it, but it wasn't bad at all. And I think I liked all the lessons that came with it, right? I think I liked all the lessons, but aside from that, I can't exactly say that I really did enjoy this movie. In all honesty, I really do like Toyin Abraham. I like her a lot, but we need to be sincere and we need to say the truth. Now, what are the things that I think should have been done better with this movie? Number one was there were quite a lot of unnecessary scenes, some scenes that you just wonder why exactly did this happen, and there were a couple of plot holes where you start to wonder why exactly did this happen, what was the need for this, what was the need for that, and it just really doesn't make sense to you, because when you deep it a lot, when you think about it so much, you're like, this does not make any sense. Like, why exactly did they do this? Why did they do that? What was the need for this? What was the need for that? So there were a lot of plot holes in this story, and the only person that really brought the comedy relief for me was Lizzy Jay, to be honest. I mean, this is basically solely my own opinion. All of the things that I'm saying here are the things that I feel about this movie, because I watched it and this is the way I feel about it, right? I'm not trying to like get anybody, dissuade anybody from not watching it or whatever. I mean, I would even love for you to watch it so that they can make their millions, right? Because I mean, it's something that you can watch with an open mind and you can relax with it, to be honest. It's not something you don't expect too much from the movie, because that's the only way that you're going to have a good laugh and also enjoy it and see the lessons in it. Yeah, then another thing is the production in this movie wasn't so smooth, because I don't know if it was the cinema that I was in, or it was the way they produced the movie. The music was way too loud, and then there were a lot of oblé, a lot of this TikTok sounds, a lot of this, and you're just wondering, are we acting real life or are we acting fiction, right? And that's another thing I'm going to talk about. But the production wasn't so great because it was too loud. The song, a lot of times the song was overshadowing their speech, which can be very, very distracting for people. So that's something that I think they should look into when you're producing the movie. And I mean, they had like 3 or 4 producers. Toyin Abraham was the producer of the movie. Her husband also produced the movie, and like 2 other people also produced it. So I think they should really, really look into that for next time, because it was a lot of times the song was overshadowing the people's voice. Another thing that I think I had issues with would be the fact that, there was a lot of infusing real life and the fiction, because the movie is a fiction. So I mean, we could see that a lot of these TikTok characters are actually fiction characters. I would have loved that they use Arike Prioda, right? But when it comes to people like Okoyemi Famaki, they use him as his real self, as a food critic. You could have used somebody else to represent that guy, right? You could have used somebody else to do that, because I didn't exactly... The guy was there. Yes, that scene was funny with it was funny to me. I'm not even going to lie. It was funny with Lizzy Jay, the person that came into the scene, and all the nonsense they were doing, all the lies they were giving the guy. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm not so sure how I feel about them infusing real life with the fiction story. It's not exactly great. Oh my god, how could I forget? Iniedo was also in this movie, as well as what's this guy's name? Toyin Abraham's husband. Oh my god, as well as Chimize Imo. They were also in this movie. Iniedo was a very, very ruthless person. She played the role of Madam Sharon, and she was very, very ruthless. Her character was just crazy. I think her character would be one of the characters that really put life into this movie, that really extended the movie. Her character was one that really, really showed all the fake things that people do in the name of charity, all the wicked things that people do in the name of trying to help. But yeah, so like I was saying, I'm not so sure about the whole infusing of real life and the movie into the movie. I'm not sure how I feel about that. And then there's scenes that you're wondering, like, so when Portable showed up, I'm like, what exactly was that scene about? Why was that Portable scene in the movie? I don't want to give you guys spoilers, but there were a couple of things that I felt like this movie was just being too elongated for reasons best known to the producers of the movie. But all in all, right, I mean, I would say that the people that acted, they did a good job. The acting was not bad, to be honest, but some things were just seeming very forced when it comes to the comedy part of it, and some scenes were unnecessary that made it seem like they were just trying to drag out the movie. And then the sound and all of those things. But I mean, I think it's something that you can actually watch, to relax. Number one, if you want to relax, if you want to have quite a good laugh from Lizzy Jay especially, and if you really love Toyin Abraham, and if you're a fan of the Alakada, the whole Alakada thing, so you could also go see the movie if you are in this category. But all in all, I would say that I give this movie an average, so 5 over 10. Like I said before, Toyin Abraham really needs to get a writer. It's time to get a writer to write your movies, man. Please, let's have something different. This year, by God's grace, I want to see something very spectacular from Toyin Abraham, to be honest. And all of this whole rewriting of old movies from Toyin, from Funke, it should end now, please. Even everybody loves Jennifer. It should end. Be cool. I mean, people can say that I don't have the right to tell people what to do, but it's getting stale. Let's have something fresh, something new. You could do more. I mean, you guys can do more than just giving us something that you've done before. Please, we need something fresh, something new from you guys, especially for me, Toyin Abraham. I want to see something very spectacular next year, and I wish you more sales. And you guys, if you've seen the movie, drop a comment. If you've not seen it, let me know what you think about what I've said so far. Drop a comment. I want to hear from you, and be sure to like, guys. All right, be sure to like my video, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.